The transition from the riverbank to the deep interior of the grove is a journey into a different world. As the humidity of the open water fades, it is replaced by the ancient recycled air of the forest. This is a sanctuary of giants, monstrous trees with buttressed roots that anchor themselves deep into the volcanic soil, their branches heavy with the weight of centuries. Here, the light does not fall, it filters. It arrives on the forest floor in broken fragments, shimmering like liquid gold against the deep velvet shadows of the undergrowth. The air is still, held in a fragile equilibrium that feels as though it has remained unchanged since the dawn of time. You find a place to settle, moving with a deliberate, unhurried grace. The ground is a complex tapestry of decay and rebirth, a thick layer of soft, crumbling leaves, the fine grey silt of ancient floods, and the vibrant green of shade-loving mosses. You sit, feeling the cool, damp pressure of the earth against your legs. The dark, minimalist animal hide of your loincloth is a familiar weight, a second skin that connects you to the natural world. There is a profound sense of arrival here. The long walk of the morning and the exertion of the river crossing are now distant memories stored in the fatigue of your muscles. Now the focus narrows. The world outside the canopy disappears, leaving only the immediate circle of the grove. Around you, the others are finding their own places of rest. There is a quiet efficiency to their movements. A woman to your left carefully clears a small patch of ground, removing twigs and larger stones until she has a flat, stable workspace. A young man opposite you is already examining his find, a large, rounded cobble of obsidian that gleams like dark glass in the dappled light. There is no conversation, no need for the clatter of voices. The language of the group is written in posture, in the shared focus of the eyes, and in the rhythmic, steady breathing that fills the silence. In your lap, you cradle the core stone you selected from the river's edge. It is a substantial piece of basalt, heavy and dense, its surface a dull, matte grey. It feels cold against your skin, a dormant piece of the planet's crust. You run your fingers over its surface, feeling the subtle textures, the microscopic pits left by the water, the smooth curves of its long journey downstream. This stone is a mystery waiting to be solved. Somewhere within its bulk lies the perfect edge, a hidden geometry that you must coax out through patience and precision. In your right hand, you hold the hammerstone. It is different from the core, harder, more compact, a piece of quartzite that has been tempered by the immense pressures of the earth. It fits into the curve of your palm with a satisfying ergonomic perfection. The weight of it is comforting. It is the bridge between your intention and the raw material of the world. You feel the pulse in your thumb where it rests against the stone, a steady reminder of the life flowing through you, ready to be channeled into the craft. You begin by studying the stone. This is the most critical phase, the silent dialogue between the maker and the material. You rotate the basalt core slowly, watching how the light plays across its facets. You are looking for the platform, the specific angle where a strike will be most effective. It is a search for symmetry and balance. You trace the natural lines of the rock with your eyes, visualizing the shock waves that will soon travel through its mineral structure. You are not looking to break the stone, you are looking to release it. The first strike is a deliberate, measured movement. You brace the core against your thigh, your muscles tensing to provide a solid, unyielding base. The hammerstone rises and falls in a controlled arc. When it meets the basalt, the sensation is instantaneous. It is not a shock of pain, but a shock of resonance. A deep, crystalline vibration travels up your arm, vibrating the very marrow of your bones. It is the sound of the earth speaking, a low, resonant note that hangs in the air long after the impact. A thin, wedge-shaped flake of basalt arcs away from the core, landing softly on the carpet of leaves. Where it once was, a new surface has been revealed. It is darker than the weathered exterior, a deep, rich charcoal colour that looks almost wet in the dim light. The edge is impossibly thin, a razor-sharp transition between the stone and the air. You lean in, the scent of the strike rising to meet you. It is a sharp, ozone-heavy aroma, the smell of minerals being crushed, of ancient energy being released. It is a clean, primordial scent that clears the mind and sharpens the senses. The rhythm of the work begins to establish itself. Strike after strike, you move around the perimeter of the stone. Each impact is a lesson. You learn the stone's resistance, its hidden flaws, and its surprising plasticity. You are entering a state of flow, where the boundary between your body and the tool begins to blur. The hammerstone is no longer an external object, it is an extension of your own hand. The basalt core is no longer a rock, it is a canvas upon which you are etching the survival of your kin. The sounds of the grove are a symphony of percussion. All around the circle, the others are engaged in the same ritual. The overlapping rhythms create a complex, hypnotic tapestry of sound. It is a communal heartbeat, a steady, pulsing reminder of the group's shared purpose. You hear the difference in the stones, the sharp, glass-like ring of obsidian, the duller, more melodic thud of limestone, and the solid, authoritative crack of basalt. These are the voices of the deep past, the same sounds that have echoed through the groves of the rift for 1,000 generations. Tiny shards of stone, fine as desert sand, begin to coat your forearms and thighs. They are cool and abrasive against your skin. You occasionally pause to brush them away with a calloused palm, the grit falling back to the earth where it will eventually become part of the soil once more. Your hands are becoming grey with stone dust, the fine powder settling into the creases of your knuckles and the lines of your palms. It is the dust of creation, the byproduct of an intellect that can see what does not yet exist and bring it into being. As the core begins to take on the familiar teardrop shape of the hand axe, the work becomes more delicate. The heavy hammerstone is set aside in favour of a smaller, more precise tool, a piece of weathered hardwood or a dense fossilised bone. The strikes are now lighter, more rhythmic, almost like a caress. You are retouching the edge, removing tiny microscopic scales of stone to create a serrated, durable cutting surface. This is the work of the artist, the final refinement that transforms a simple tool into a masterpiece of engineering. You hold the hand axe up to the light. The symmetry is breathtaking. The two faces of the stone curve toward each other in a perfect, elegant arc, meeting at a point that is both beautiful and lethal. It is a shape that has been refined by trial and error over hundreds of thousands of years, a design so fundamental that it feels less like an invention and more like a law of nature. You feel a deep, quiet pride. This object is a testament to your endurance, your intelligence, and your place in the world. The light in the grove is changing now. The golden pillars of the midday sun have softened into a warm, honey-coloured glow. The shadows are beginning to merge, creeping out from the bases of the trees to reclaim the forest floor. The intense heat of the day has broken, replaced by a cool, rising breath from the earth. The insects of the canopy, silent during the peak of the sun, are beginning their evening chorus, a high-pitched, shimmering drone that vibrates through the leaves. You take a moment to simply exist with the finished tool. You feel the weight of it in your hand, the way the center of gravity aligns perfectly with your grip. It is balanced, responsive, and ready. You run your thumb along the edge, not with enough pressure to cut, but enough to feel the terrifying sharpness of the basalt. It is a cold, hard promise of food, of protection, and of the ability to shape the world to your needs. Looking around the circle, you see the others also nearing the end of their work. The young man with the obsidian has produced a series of long leaf-shaped blades that glitter like dark water. The woman to your left has finished a heavy cleaver, its edge thick and rugged. There is a collective sigh of relief and satisfaction that ripples through the group. No words are spoken, but the sense of accomplishment is palpable. This is the foundation of your society, the shared knowledge of the hand and the stone. The physical exertion of the knapping has left your muscles feeling heavy and warm. It is a good tired, the fatigue that comes from meaningful labour. You lean back against the furrowed bark of the great tree behind you, feeling its solid, unmoving strength against your spine. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the sounds of the grove wash over you. The percussive rhythm of the tools has stopped, leaving a profound, ringing silence in its wake. But the memory of the vibration remains in your body, a ghost pulse that reminds you of your connection to the stone. The scent of the grove is deepening. The mineral tang of the crushed basalt is now mixing with the evening scents of the forest, the damp smell of leaf mould, the sweet fragrance of night-blooming orchids, and the sharp, resinous aroma of pine. It is a complex, comforting perfume that signals the transition from work to rest. The world is slowing down, preparing for the long, cool embrace of the night. You place the finished hand axe on the ground beside you, tucking it into a small depression in the leaves where it will be safe. Your hands, though dusty and tired, feel light. You rub them together, the grey stone dust falling away like dry rain. You are part of a lineage of makers, a chain of hands stretching back into the infinite reaches of time. Each strike you made today was an echo of a strike made by your father and his father before him. You are carrying forward a flame of knowledge that has never been extinguished. The twilight is deepening now, the emerald leaves of the canopy turning to shades of indigo and slate. The first of the forest's nocturnal creatures are beginning to stir, the soft rustle of a small mammal in the undergrowth, the distant haunting call of a night bird. The grove, once a workshop, is now a bedroom. The safety of the group and the protection of the trees provide a sanctuary where you can finally let go of the vigilance of the day. You feel the pull of sleep, a slow, heavy tide that rises from the cooling earth and settles into your limbs. The journey will continue tomorrow, but for now, the work is done. The tools are ready. The peace of the ancestors is upon you. You are home in the grove, safe in the craft, and exactly where you were always meant to be. The day is folding itself into the memory of the stone, and the night is a vast unwritten promise waiting to be explored. As you drift toward the edge of consciousness, the last thing you feel is the cool breath of the forest on your skin and the absolute unwavering solidity of the earth beneath you. The rhythm of the walk, the flow of the river, and the vibration of the strike all merge into a single peaceful frequency. You are the ancestor, you are the maker, you are the sleeper, and the world is at rest.